Hey there, gang. Lauren here, and I am in need of a mental health day today. It is Wednesday, July 13th, and I just need a little bit of a mental health day. So I am on my way to pick up my buddy Nicole. My friend is away on vacation. She has a farm, and she's asked if I would do her a favor by harvesting some vegetables while she is gone. So she's got green beans and zucchini and lots of kale, raspberries, sunflowers, all sorts of stuff. Great place for a mental health day. So join me on my trip to the farm. Let's go pick up Nicole. It is an absolutely gorgeous day today. So I am taking our fun car to enjoy the sun and just get a little bit of wind in my hair, obviously, and all of this helps me to relax and be mindful, and it's just such a gorgeous day. I'm glad you're along for the ride. So here we are at my friend's farm, and I am here with my buddy Nicole. We've been friends for a very, very long time.
Yep.
She needed a mental health day too, so we are here. We are going to pick raspberries over here. We've got sunflowers back there. Nicole is a florist, a very talented florist, so she's freaking out. We've got echinacea over there. So my friend who has the farm, she asked me to help her out by picking green beans while she's away on vacation. There's also zucchini and kale, which is perfect. I follow a vegan diet, so I am quite happy. And Nicole and I are gonna hack away at this place and help out my friend. So follow along with us. So we are in the green bean patch, and I have loaded up a whole bunch of green beans. Nicole's still going at it. She's got her green beans. They're smaller green beans, haricot vert, it's pronounced, but she's got fields and fields of them here. And she asked if we would pick the green beans because the more you pick, the more you get. And so while she's away, I will do her this favor by picking these homegrown, organically grown, local green beans. I will do her this favor. It's a hard thing to do, but I am a good friend. So we are going to head from here. Where are we going next, Nick?
We're gonna save raspberries for last. Maybe we'll go over to zucchini.
Zucchini might be next. We'll hit the sunflowers, which all of those, believe it or not, all of those volunteered. They came back from last year, my friend said. I'm dying to get my hands on her tomatoes. Her tomato plants came from me, but she's got more turning than I do. So, but she comes back on Friday. I wouldn't do that to her. She's got some really nice looking tomatoes. Here, let me show you. Over here, I think these are Berkeley pink tie-dye, which I gave her. It's either that or chocolate stripe, but I think the way they are, these are Berkeley tie-dye. I was telling Rob, my husband, when we were here on Sunday, I'm like, oh, she's got tomatoes turning. They're not going to be good until Friday when we get back. And he said, oh, yes, they will. Get your hands off the tomatoes. So she is coming home to a nice treat. These are beautiful, beautiful tomatoes. So it is hot out here, but it's a great mental health day to be with the earth. I did a chapter about this in my 52-week intention journal, my last book, which came out in March, about grounding and earthing. And Nicole knows very much about this. She's been talking to me about it for years because she is a florist and a naturalist. I'm really just sort of starting to get into this stuff within the past year or so, but there's something incredibly healing about being at one with nature. And I like getting my hands in the dirt. I never wear gloves when I'm gardening, and so my fingernails are always dirty this time of year. I like getting my hands in the dirt. In fact, Nicole did an episode on my show about a year or so ago. We called it Dirt Therapy, and she did an episode, live broadcast, where she showed us some simple floral arrangements, and I think, what do we grow, Nick? Cabbage, lettuce on your show?
Lettuce, arugula, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. And many of my members did that. So I think it's such a wonderful thing if you can get out in nature, and even if you don't have access to a farm like I do this week, or all the time actually, she's just not home this week. Going outside, just breathing in the fresh air, doing some intentional breathing outdoors can really be just so healing. And often we can get so caught up in either our work inside or being in pain. If you're in chronic pain, we spend a lot of time on the couch or in bed. But if you can go outside, even for just a couple of minutes, the sun has vitamin D. It's really great therapy. So many of us are incredibly lacking of vitamin D. Nick, I can't imagine you're lacking in vitamin D ever.
I don't think so, but I even take extra because I know it's so important.
good point. And I've started taking extra because I was told a couple of months ago that I have osteoporosis. And I hadn't been good about taking my calcium and vitamin D, I will admit. I think this time of year I don't lack in vitamin D, but I'm still taking extra too. What do you call it? The nurse had told me that thin people are very prone to osteoporosis. So I need to be careful. So weight-bearing exercise, I was told, and calcium and vitamin D. So I am getting my vitamin D from the sunshine here. Nick is still going to town on the green beans. We're going to hit something next. Stay tuned. Okay, so we have finished the green beans. We've done some zucchini, and now we're here in their sunflower patch. I don't know if you can really get the extent of this field of sunflowers, and they have all volunteered, which means she did not plant these seeds this season. They all came back. Get in there.
Yeah.
They all came back from last year. She said it's a mess and that they're not organized like they were last year, but I beg to differ. These are gorgeous. So I've been stealing a couple seeds and see if I can plant some, and Nicole's gonna give me the rundown of what they do. There's all sorts of beautiful pollinators on these, and it's just, again, it's so amazing to be at one with nature, and just, it helps us, I think, to be more grateful and to realize there's more to us than our pain, and that, you know, there's this whole ecosystem. Life is so much bigger than us, and it's so much bigger than our pain, and it's out there waiting for us to find it and grab it. And instead of, you know, we have every right to be miserable and to be upset about our conditions, but if we can move past it, even for brief moments where we can forget about our pain, and coming outdoors, and it reminds us of just how big this world is and how much beauty there is to see in it. So we're gonna get back to the sunflowers, and we'll do raspberries next. Oh, and kale. We got kale too. All right, so now we are here picking kale in the kale bed. And she just has, as you can see, 2 rows, endless rows of this gorgeous green kale. Last night, I was here last night for a little while. I took some kale, I used some olive oil, I sauteed it I rubbed it rather into the leaves, chopped up some garlic, put it in the oven at 400 for like 20 minutes. Oh my God. You know, usually I saute the kale, but I was looking for something different to toss in with pasta. Roasted at 400 for 20 minutes. They got to be crispy like kale chips, and they were so good. So we've got this big pile over there. We are accumulating, and again, we are helping out my friend. Nick's over here. She's got her snippers. She's getting some too. It is hot, and I am not dressed for this. I'm wearing long pants, which is silly because here in New Jersey it is hot and humid this time of year, but I look like a farmer, so it's appropriate. You can see she's also got onions over there. Those tomato plants, they came from me. I think I told you that already. You can tell I'm proud of my tomato plants. But we're having a beautiful afternoon here. Hey Nick, what are those? Are those bird or bat houses over there? Hanging up.
I believe those are bird houses. Yep.
Beautiful bird houses.
Bird song. The frequency of bird song is proven to make vegetables grow better.
You told me
Yep.
that. You told me to
So
get a
that's
bird
why.
bath around my tomatoes, right?
Yep.
See, Nick's always good for all this nature stuff. And she tells me these flowers are echinacea, which is awesome. All right, so we're finishing up the kale. Raspberries are next, ending at sunflowers. Beautiful day here on the farm. Stay tuned. Okay, so now we've moved on to the animals. We are here with the ducks.
And Kowalski.
And this funky chicken guy, his name is Kowalski. And he's eating raspberries. Not sure if he's supposed to be eating raspberries, but right now he's eating raspberries. These poor guys, their pond is dried up. It's been very hot here. We haven't had rain in a long time. But here they go. Kowalski. I don't know that they like them. These guys are probably really, really hot. They've got some shade over there. But there's also donkeys, but the donkeys are inside. They're staying cool. Oh, there's Kowalski. Hey, Kowalski, what's up? What's up? What's going on, man? I mean, girl. It's a girl. I was calling it funky chicken the other day, but I was informed her name is Kowalski. So there was somebody here taking care of the animals earlier. This place is just amazing. What a day we've had, huh, Nick?
Oh gosh, what a gorgeous day.
Yep, absolutely. Gorgeous, good mental health day to be out here, for sure.
Chatting, eating fresh fruit and veg.
I know. The thing is, I'm picking raspberries, but I always wonder why my bucket's not getting all that full, because eating most of them And then I eat them on the way home, so by the time I get home, there aren't a lot. I did have some for breakfast because I was here yesterday, but yeah, these bushes are just overrun with raspberries, and over here there's blackberries, which are not quite ready yet, but they're starting to turn.
Yep.
Honestly, this place is like the Garden of Eden. Garden of Eden!
Eden.
It's the Garden of Eden. It's just spectacular. What a day. It's amazing. And the fact that she says a lot of this stuff just volunteered and came back, again, just showing the miracle of nature. And when we don't try to control everything, which happens, we try to control circumstances. Look what happens when we don't try to control things. Things often happen the way they're supposed to. So we can apply this to living with, you know, our struggles like chronic pain and illness. The more I used to try to control my pain, the more emotional pain I was in. Because with each failed treatment, I've talked about this in many videos, with each failed treatment that I had hope in, with each specialist that I had hope in that failed, I would get more and more depressed. And so while I am so proactive in my health, don't get me wrong, in fact, the main reason why I eat plant-based, and I'll do another video on this, but is because it helps me with my pain. And while I would never, you know, tell everybody go out and become vegan because it will help you with your pain, I think we're all different. But for me, I've been strict vegan since March 2021. I did it because I've done it a lot over the years. Over the last 20 years, I go on and off. I was going to get my first COVID vaccine in March 2021. And because a vegan diet had been really good for my pain in the past, and we didn't know much about the vaccines at the time, I told Rob, I'm like, you know, I'm going to try to go into my first vaccine in fighting form and give myself, because I wasn't sure how it would affect my immune system since I have an autoimmune disease. I wasn't sure, you know, if it would make it overactive. Nobody knew at that point. They were still very new, these vaccines. So I'm like, I'm going to go strict vegan for a couple weeks beforehand and give myself a really good shot. Well, the difference in my pain was dramatic, gang. Dramatic. And, you know, I will do a separate video on this. I don't want to, again, I don't want to say you should all run out and become plant-based. It works for me. I think I know we're all built differently. So what works for me may not work for you. And, you know, I don't ever in the group talk about things like this because it's not what Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain is about. We don't talk about therapies and things that help our pain. We help with the emotional aspect. So I never, the group knows that I'm vegan because I'll mention it. But in fact, today's National French Fry Day, and I was talking about McDonald's French fries being the best, and they are vegan, by the way. Not that I've had them in a while, but for me, this eating plant-based has helped me so much that I have stuck with it. So, you know, coming out here getting kale and zucchini and green beans and all this stuff is just a treat. And the raspberries, of course, that we are going crazy on. It's a treat. But so, yeah, so that is why I've become plant-based. But I will do a separate video on that and talk to you more about it. There's a book that my daughter, Riley, actually helped me on it. She read a book called The Starch Solution by Dr. John McDougall. And it talks about how in cultures where starches are the primary source of their eating, like potatoes, corn, rice, sweet potatoes, beans, that they have a lot less disease, a lot less diabetes, all of that stuff. So that's the book that set her off on eating vegan, I think like 7 years ago. And I did it with her, and I was good about it for a while. It helped my pain, and then I got lazy on it. So trying it again, you know, a year and 2-3 months ago, again, it was dramatic, and I've stuck with it ever since. And that is my vegan story, but I will do another video on that. So we are just finishing up the raspberries. Maybe. It's really tough to stop the raspberries. You know, every time I think, all right, I've got enough, it's tough. They're just like, it's heaven in your mouth, these, you know, sun-ripened raspberries on the bush. So we may be here for a while, but we're doing this, and then our last stop is the sunflower, so stay tuned. Decided to take a little walk and came across my friends the donkeys. Let's see here. Here they are. Forget their names. I think one is Winston. There's a mother and a father, and I think there's been 2 babies. I don't know where the other one is. I want to say one's Winston. I forget what the other one is. When the last one was pregnant, I told her they should name it Don Quixote. Get it? Don Quixote? I guess they didn't go with that, but there they are. It's nice and cool back here. Hey guys! Don't be an ass. Get it, NS? All right, so we are just finishing up. We're going to take a couple sunflowers and we're going to head out because I need to go home and do a little bit of my attitude of gratitude with chronic pain heart work in the group. I haven't worked all day because I needed this mental health day, which has been spectacular. But now I'm hanging with the donkeys and we're going to head home. All right, so we are ending our day here on the farm. Nicole, as I mentioned, she is a very talented florist, and my friend said that she could take some flowers. She's got a market she is doing tomorrow.
Yeah.
So she's taking some sunflowers for the road, and this is a great way to end our mental health day afternoon, just to be at one with nature. I encourage you all, even if you can't get to a farm like we were able to today, to get outside. Remind yourself, get yourself in nature. Remind yourself that there's so much beauty to be had in this world, and there's so much joy out there if we can get past stewing in the emotional aspects of our pain. And even if it's just for 15 seconds that you can forget, that's a win. So from Nicole and I, until
And this sunflower from us, and this amazing sunflower.
all right, hang on, let me look. All right. Oh yes. Wow, look at the bees on that baby.
Yep.
Don't worry, Mom, I'm staying away from the bees. I'm allergic, my mom freaks out.
So from us and the sunflower.
From us and the sunflower.
Yeah.
From us and the beautiful sunflower. Nicole, thank you for joining me on this mental health day.
No, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And thank you to my friend, you know who you are, for the use of your farm today. And until next time, guys, peace and love. Get your gratitude on.
Get your gratitude on.